ALTBAYS Show, it's live, brought to you by ALTBAYS.nz. Show 110. Wow. Wow, I know, right? If you are watching us right now, it's because you are on YouTube. And if you are on YouTube, make sure to subscribe to our channel. You can also join the platform so you can put some dollars to the team to make sure that we stay alive. Stay alive, okay? There's a chat on the left side where you can send a comment or a question or also do a one-off donation. We appreciate it. Thank you so much. We are on all the social media platforms, so make sure to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. TikTok is crazy, eh? Wow. And we're there, of course, because we're crazy, so it's good. We also have a second channel called ALTBAYS Clips where we break down the chats. So if you don't have time to listen to the whole thing, you can go on ALTBAYS Clips and pick some moments, some highlights of the chats and enjoy our content. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for being part of this. We're having fun. We're having good fun. And I couldn't be happier because we get to share the table with these beautiful people like Lana Garland. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Freaking awesome, thanks. How are you?
Oh, I'm great. Do you like the food?
I love the food. I'm so good. And I was so hungry.
Really?
I was fasting last time I came to the show and I had to watch you all eat the pizza.
And I'm glad I sent you the message earlier today. If you're fasting, it's time to stop.
Yeah, that's what did it.
How is spring going? Getting ready for summer? How is the getting warmer season time?
Really awesome.
Yeah?
Yeah. Been in the garden.
Ooh.
Just loving it. And feeling actually quite deeply spring cleaning naturally, which is quite nice. It's just coming over me like, oh, I want to clean that. Oh, I want to organize that.
Tidying up? Have you been tidying up the garden or you already planting new things and what's happening?
Both. Yeah. Yesterday did a lot of tidying up, which meant like pulling stuff out. That was really fun.
Touching the soil.
So good. You got to do it.
I know way.
Mm-hmm.
I love that article you wrote about earthing.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful. I actually told my mom because she's got arthritis. And a friend was telling me that there was this study that I think was in America. The workers would wear those leather and metal boots. Mm-hmm. And then there was a time that they changed for rubber, the soil. And a lot of them started to get sick. Like they were not as productive. And years later, they realized there was something to do with the connection.
Yeah.
Crazy, eh?
But not crazy, because that's how
crazy,
it's been for
but
200,000 years, right? And then you suddenly cut off your connection to the giant great mother. Of course you're going to get sick.
I know,
not crazy.
Right? Bare feet.
Yeah.
Bare feet. We have here tonight on the show our friend Bobby Brazuka.
Hello.
Hello.
Kia ora.
Kia ora. How are you, my man?
I'm good, very good. Very, very happy to be here. Thanks for having me all the way from Auckland.
Yeah, all the way from... Can you walk bare feet in the city or it doesn't look good? Just not great?
Not these days. I remember when I first came to New Zealand and I saw some people walking like bare feet, like in Queen Street, which was just like, wow. Main street of the city, people just, But now I was like, it's get a bit populated and a bit dusty. Dirty. Yeah.
You never know where you're going to step on in LA. Yeah. So Bobby, DJ... runs the mighty Ponsonby Social Club. Yeah. Also involved with a few other things.
My hands everywhere.
You put your hands.
Just pretty little, but my hands.
Long reach.
Got the reach, eh? Yeah. Just got back from Sydney. How was Australia?
Australia's good. Yeah. School holidays, so to take my family there. Conciliate with some gigs as well. So it's cool.
Nice. So just before we dive in this beautiful conversation, I just want to say thank you to our sponsors and supporters of the show. So Peninsula Motel, if you're coming to town for the busy season for summer, make sure to get in touch with Fred from Peninsula Motel. They have units in cool bedrooms. They're comfortable. It's a beautiful space right in town, close to the wharf. So make sure to check them out, peninsulamotel.co.nz. Another big supporter of our show today is Barrier Air. Why driving 2.5 hours, 3 hours to come to the Coromandel when you can fly to the Coromandel? Yes, and they provide those services. Auckland Whitianga, Auckland Kaitaia, also Great Barrier Air Island, which is amazing. And I missed one. North Shore, of course. So make sure to check them out. It's barrierair.kiwi. And they're also on Facebook and Instagram. Great guy. Grant Bacon came to our show, the CEO from Barrier Air. So check that out. It was a great show. And lot of love, plant-based, providing beautiful kai for us. Thanks, Tanya. Tanya runs some plant-based cooking classes in the Coromandel. She sells beautiful desserts. And now she's also in the Whitianga market. So you can go there, have a chat with her. She has a beautiful story of healing through her foods, and she learned from the chef Cynthia Louise, who is an amazing chef from Bali. So make sure to check her out. It's lotalove.co.nz and Lot of Love on Facebook and Instagram. Mwah! Do that. Support our supporters.
It's a great name. I can't believe no one had taken that already.
Lot of Love.
It's amazing.
Yeah, that's cool.
I like
it's
it.
It's a good name. We were talking about some names before. Hey, Bob, you have some ideas to go to new places because, as you said, you have your hands in very different things. How was the thing with like Latinaotearoa and?
Yeah, I cut you before when you start talking about Latinaotearoa, so I apologize for that. But
no, it's all good.
Latinaotearoa, the name. I mean, I got also my record label. It's called record label slash
already.
Slash kind of production company, which is called Mucharoha Music. So kind of conciliate both my Mucharoha and then Latinaotearoa is just my band, but it's all together Latinaotearoa. A lot of people separate it. It's all together because in Latin America, us Latin Americans, we call Latin America all together. So that's called Latinaotearoa all together. So that's my main project. I mean, I kind of put it aside for a little bit. Kind of trying slowly to get back into it because it's quite one of my passions is like co-produce with some great producers, friends of mine, and making music. So it's Latin music with hip hop, with soul, funk, house. So it's like from cumbia to boogaloo to salsa to rumba, then with hip hop and so funky all that. So it's a cool and with a Kiwi, with an Antipodean influence, which is you can feel it if you listen to the music.
Nice. And so when you what did that come first? Did that come before Ponsonby Social Club or
came before? I mean, I was always DJ. I mean, always, but since for like 21 years. But I always had this. I collect records for a long time, and I have about 2,500 vinyl. So like a lot of my records are rare Brazilian records, and but I also like modern music, which are like hip hop and some of the modern Latin music, which is people that influence me, like such as Quantic and Nicodemus and just to name a few. They do that what I try to do, like, and they're my idols. So I start doing that thing, but with using my records to sample things, and then have references of stuff that I wanted to do, like with house music, such as Masters at Work. These guys from New York, Louis Vega and Kenny Dope, and it worked. Yeah. How
do you get your vinyls? Do you travel to places? Are you always online?
Always. That's the thing. I'm always finding. I'm always digging. Yeah, digging is it's a movement. Like if you like records, you're always gonna go digging. So like I'll go to, and then somehow I always find a record store. Like I went to Brisbane the other day, then just walking, I just saw the little vinyl somewhere there, like miles away, and I was like, that's a record store. And I just went, popped my head in, and it ended up being just me and the owner of the record store for a couple of hours, and then we just became friends, and then he just put some stuff for me to listen, and ended up spending $500 Australian dollars, but
good sales man, hey, the guy. Yeah.
Oh, that's a good thing about record stores. You know, it's different than buying online stuff or just listening on Spotify. You know, like the old record store owner, they can really tell you. You can start talking to him, and he can start finding out what you like, what you want, what's the things they listen to, and then he start popping. Like, you might want to hear this, want to hear that. One of my best friends should be a real cool guy for you guys to have here one day. His name is Kyan, and he's my best friend, and then also I'm godfather to one of his kids. But he runs things in at the moment in Raglan. But he has got a second-hand shop, record store, and also his Japanese family, which is he's English, but he's married to a Japanese woman, and they have a Japanese restaurant. Ulo. The man loves Ulo. Yeah, it's cool. It'll be good for you to for you guys to get him here because he's pretty cool. So anyway, he's kind of like that. So I worked with him at Conch Records in Auckland for 8 years, and then he was my main guy about records. It was like we went to Brazil together in 2004. And he bought a pile like this. But that's what a lot of my records come from, like going to Brazil and going digging in Brazil.
That's what I was about to ask. When was the last time?
April. This year. Yeah, after 3 years I went back.
You haven't been to Brazil, Lana?
No.
We gotta make that happen.
My sister Stacey has. So we've got whānau connections, you know. Florianopolis she went to.
Yeah, she did, yeah.
What part of Brazil are you from, man?
Sao Paulo. Yeah, the city. Sao Paulo City, south side.
And how was the first time that you came to New Zealand? When was it, and how was the experience?
I was 17. I came in exchange. So I went to Avondale College in Auckland.
West side.
Yeah, so I really loved it. I was love at first sight kind of thing, you know, like we connected really good.
It's a freaking great place to land.
Yeah, it was really cool. Well, I think would be a different story if I went to Australia, I think. And just the people here, straight away, like I've always been the little guy that talks to everyone and knows everyone. So like it took me a while to like, I could speak a bit of English, but kind of basic, you get from Brazil for school and from English courses they do, like, you know, Brazil, as you know. But then I just like was hard to also the accent, you know, like because American English. So coming over here was kind of hard to understand it, but then also to start thinking in English, you know, like the day that I remember that was the start when I started dreaming in English. That's when I think I really got it. And I remember being in school and I was like, oh man, I couldn't totally. You know, one of the things I think is that because you are, you know, whoever you think that I am an intelligent person, but I can't show how well I can really tell you. You know what I mean? Kind of like, so then I was like, when I start talking, you're gonna hear because I talk a lot.
Got a lot of ideas.
Yeah, so when when I start talking, then I was like, conquer the whole school. Not blowing my trumpet, but
how many months did that take?
Yeah, probably about 3.
Wow.
So I remember going to high school. I was like, I sat down, and then I looked at this girl. I was like, she's one of my best friends at the moment nowadays. And then I look at them, and they're like, oh man, those girls are Beverly Hills 90210. Like, you know, they're like, because then I grew up watch American TV, you know. And then a good friend of mine sat down next to me, which is one of the guys I saw in Melbourne in this last Aussie trip. My friend 80, and then he stopped, somehow he just wanted to talk to me. Then we became friends, and we're friends since then. So it'll be 1997, it's almost 30 years.
Wow. And then did you stay from that time, or you went back to Brazil and then back again to New
then
Zealand?
I did the whole thing was 1 year. Then when he came back in about, I told my dad always jokes about this because he said I tricked him. Because I said to him that I said I asked him for if I could go to New Zealand, back to New Zealand, year 99 to 2000. And I said I'm just going to go for 2 months. It did so, but I never went back. So yeah, I got myself a job working at Santos Cafe. I think that's what I met Lana.
Yeah.
And all the Garland sisters. Yeah, I just saw myself actually in Sydney.
Nice.
Yeah, he's got a cafe there, Bondi. And yeah, so I got but that was the place to be. It was so awesome there. By those days, I remember came back in, when I went in 97, I went to the big day out. I went just like, wow, that's a watch. You're like going like, fuck, this is the shit.
Was that the Prodigy Big Day Out? Do you know?
I don't know. I can't remember.
Yeah, I can't remember.
I can't remember who I saw, but that was my first kind of like, wow, New Zealand's crazy. That's so cool, Then I went again in 2000. I went to quite a few, like all these festivals. I became like a festival head, I went to every single Explore, for example. Then I just love that festivals you just get loose, like just nothing to worry about it,
Was it easy to stay in New Zealand at the time, like the immigration?
I was with someone so I got my visa pretty quick, but I got in trouble a little bit. I had a car crash. I kind of fell asleep driving. Oh, I was a little bit drunk.
Is
it right to tell about this?
Yeah.
Is it? No, I don't know. Well, I was drunk a bit, and then but I was about to get my residency. It was about, can't remember. I think I got in here 2001. I think that's when I got the residency, but the process was going on, and then I had a few drinks in this party, the Curious Films.
Oh, yeah.
They had a party and there was free drinks all the time. And I was like, oh shit, this is great. And I was waiting for my residency to come up. I think it was 2001 actually. But anyway, then but I got drunk and then I wouldn't leave my car in town, so I decided to drive. And then I fell asleep and I woke up in another car.
Oh man!
Inside, and then I was like, the police came and then I didn't pass the first test. But I went to the police station and I passed it. It used to be way more. It was $3.99. It was 400 milligrams or something. And it was $3.99. They're like, "You're so lucky." So they drove me home, and I got for reckless driving. I got charged for that. But I got paid my duties. We just paid the fine, and then but that kind of came back to me as when I applied for my citizenship. Then when I applied for that I had to wait for 3 years to that clear up.
Oh.
So there was citizenship was in 2006 or something. It used to be shorter. It used to be 3 years if you were citizen, but now it's 5 years. So.
And you can have both, right? From Brazil and New Zealand, you can carry both, right?
Yeah, but it's not like because I'm part Japanese, so the Japanese I could get my Japanese passport. But if you Japanese, you only Japanese. You gotta drop all
the other passports.
Yeah, I don't want to drop my Kiwi, my Brazilian passport. To be Japanese, I prefer just be,
Kiwi and Brazilian.
Kiwi and Brazilian, or Japanese looks.
Yeah. Have you been to Japan a few times? Was it part of the thing, the family traveling?
No. I went once I went over on my way to London, and then I ended up getting myself some gigs, and I DJ. It's really cool. Because
that's the place for the records and for the vinyl.
Yeah, I went to some. They're crazy Japanese, like in Brazil is quite similar to like Portugal, Spain kind of thing. And New Zealand is a bit similar to England, but Japan is just galaxy, the universe. It's just really cool, and the people they don't care. They dress however they like. And it's just everybody, as we're saying, about 50 younger, and people there are just like busy.
Yeah.
Super busy. They don't even look at you. They're just like focus on where they're going, what they're gonna do. So the subway is fast.
Doesn't Brazil have the largest like Japanese population outside Japan? Because the first Brazilian I met was actually Japanese, Simone Tiene Kubo, and she was also from Sao Paulo.
Yeah. It's the biggest Japanese concentration out of Japan.
Yeah, I don't think many people know that. You
No, not in
you
New
wouldn't put the
Zealand.
two together.
Yeah, no, they like. I remember those days. So like those times, like New Zealand people be like, especially girls, be like, "Oh, that's such amazing mix." I was like, "Yeah." Yeah, that's But then my deep inside, I was like, "There's heaps of us." It's like there's like so many people that look like me. But no, yeah, we got a Japanese neighborhood. It's kind of our Chinatown. It's called Liberdade. Freedom.
Yeah.
So now break the mystique, but you're married now, so it's okay.
Yeah.
There's heaps of him like him.
And I got my my little girl is quite unique because she's Brazilian, Japanese, Kiwi. So, yeah.
And it's the place to buy a lot of stuff, in São Paulo. Liberdade is the place where you find very interesting things to buy from. Yeah. Different sources, different places.
It became quite Chinese these days because the Japanese don't go there anymore. Like it was a phase, was a time in history that we went there. Our grandparents went. So it was about from 1908, and then afterwards, they probably after the Second World War, like Japan stopped picking again, and they don't migrate much, not to a place like Brazil. I think there's quite a few Japanese here, but like a lot of Chinese there now, and there's a few Koreans, but Chinese is like we took over quite a bit, especially that neighborhood. It's not a bad thing. They still give you the Asian culture,
Great food.
Yeah. It's cool, real good Japanese restaurants there. There it goes.
When I went to Brazil, that was 6 years ago, I noticed that the center of São Paulo had a lot of Africans, like doing a lot of the commerce in the streets, and used to be mainly Chinese. Those were my memories from when I came to before coming to New Zealand, and then I went there. I could feel a different vibe, and I always think about that, like how it's so mixed, like the world just getting so like more and more like. I wonder how far this thing with patriotism and nations, and like how long this is gonna go, like because if you look back in history, like it's quite recent what we have as nations, and a lot of like colonization was a big thing, and then countries becoming independent, and now with internet and the money, the bitcoins kind of thing, and things changing so fast. I'm always like, how long is this gonna last? Like are we gonna stick to nations, especially because we're fucking up the world? Like, are we gonna get to a global way of thinking, or this is not possible? Like we are too.
There's heaps of Peruvians, like there's real good Peruvian restaurants in downtown São Paulo. There's heaps of Africans because they love the. I guess we're pretty African, Brazil, but yeah, this São Paulo is crazy. Like there's buildings and people. But yeah, I don't know about what you said. But I mean, I guess like it's just the world is actually not supposed to have any borders, So like music is a kind of thing like that doesn't goes everywhere, and doesn't often stops it. But yeah, I guess people like getting such a funny time at the moment, like with people getting funny about like people speak Te Reo Māori, or like that's weird because that's the language,
Yeah.
And people, I was just thinking about it the other day because I got a friend of mine that I traveled to Barcelona with once, and then in Barcelona everywhere has the two languages, like has the Spanish and the Catalan, and they found it so cool they have that, and then same person was like, why do you have to have Te Reo everywhere? And I was like, well, because why didn't you complain back then? But just everything is so cool when it's not in your backyard. Yes.
Yeah.
And how does it affect what was like? You just leave yours and just don't worry about what's going on. But yeah.
Languages are like music, though. There's no downside to knowing another language. It's so good for your brain. It's so good for your development. It's so good for learning other things. Like the more You know, it's like my son, when he was studying in Europe, he was like, man, I feel dumb, Mum. Everyone here, it was a kind of a high university, so I suppose they knew. But he was like, most people speak 4 languages. Some of them speak up to 7, you know, and it's just like, he was like, how stink. I thought when I was growing up here that by the time I had my kids, we'd be bilingual for sure. Because like, why wouldn't you? There's literally no downside, you know? And it's just, I think, anyway. I've got a lot of theories on that, but I'll best be quiet.
Yeah,
that's so good.
And if you learn today, will kind of like make you kind of good in Spanish or Portuguese because it's I-O, you know.
And Japanese, exactly the same vowels as Japanese.
The same vowels, yeah. So we you know, Japanese is a bit more complicated because it's like ma, me, mi, mo, take, kiko, like, you know, they have their, so they say my name is Roberto. They say Roberto.
Roberto.
Which is but I languages are cool, you know, like, and then, but there are countries that absorb that. If you think about Canada, they can, if you one side of Canada, you can speak French and English, or if you switch from Switzerland, people there can speak maybe Italian, you know, German, and French, and then I guess Swiss. I think they speak.
Have you ever felt some people not actually enjoying much, because the Ponsonby Social Club, from what I know and from the times that I've been to, like, you have this beautiful mix of music artists, you know, a lot of Latin artists, but also like beautiful people from all over the world that come and perform. And I would think that because you're in the city, people love that. But have you ever got some kind of like, what's that? What's going on? Why are you doing that? You know?
Like, you know, if we're doing Brazilian parties, for example, like we were never really Brazilian, like, because when I started doing the bookings there, so I used to work in a record store across the road, Conch, and then the guys they didn't have much idea of music, but they had a cool place. And then I was like, I'll help you out. Of course, I'll get paid, but I'll help you out. And then I started doing the booking, a music programmer, and just book up. And I knew all the best DJs in the city, you know. So that's people like Manuel Bundy, Roger Perry, Kilamiraro, like Shefu, DJ Surveyor, like, it was like the guys, you know. Like, and I booked him to play, and then we made a reputation for ourselves. But like, and there was pretty much just a DJ based kind of gig, kind of place, you know. Like, was about DJs. And then afterwards, like, we went on live music. Now after COVID, I started live music, and the live music, I had to stop. I also, because of COVID, I started doing more Brazilian things, like do the samba, feijoada, or the Brazilian bands. Like, I kind of made the stage a bit better, treat the stage, made more like as a more as a jazz club, New York kind of jazz club. So people see maybe cozier and nicer and sound-wise, but better for people to enjoy live music. And then, so sometimes if it's, people just gets a little bit funny if they're not familiar to. If it's a Brazilian party, like, because we do the Brazilian party outside in the courtyard, and then it's just all these girls dancing. People walk past, they're like, what the hell's going on there? You know? Yeah. So it gets a bit funny like that.
Right. Brazilian parties are cool.
I can imagine.
Yeah, but it gets a little bit intimidating, you know, because especially like some girls will be like, oh, like all this really booty shaking, you know, like there's just, people get a little bit like frightened a little bit.
I don't know what
yeah, like, but like some people just embrace it. So it depends on how it goes, but most of the times people enjoy it. You know.
And you're working with alcohol. That's a big thing. How do you see the drinking culture coming from Brazil and then working at a cafe, at a bar, right? It was Santos Cafe, but was it kind of like a bar?
No, it didn't have a bar. No, it was just coffee.
It was coffee.
Yeah, it was coffee. And it was really cool. Like, but yeah, since I think we spoke about this. When I came in the exchange, it was like, I always found it like quite, wow, man, those guys like been drinking, like drink hard, you know, like there's that. I think for it's a culture thing. It's about like I have this theory that we Brazilians, like, we meet up and we're like, let's catch up for drink, like, so let's catch up. Then we start drinking, and the happiness of catching up and the conversations are great and you have a great time, you might end up getting drunk. you know. But we don't go. Let's meet up. Let's get fucked up.
Yeah,
let's get wasted. You know, like
it's not the goal.
All the key, like, you know, the Irish, the English, I mean, the Aussies, the Kiwis, they just go like, let's have a good time. Let's get wasted. You know, and then that's pretty much how they used to think, and back in high school. It's because maybe they access to I don't know, maybe access to that many drugs, perhaps, I don't know, but
I think it's definitely a cultural thing. That definitely is an English thing.
Yeah.
Like it comes from England, and this really weird repressed kind of. So like, you know, up until I think just before I was born, it was like 6 o'clock closing. So people would you weren't allowed to. It's like drink as much as you can, but you're not really allowed it. So you have to close the pub at 6 o'clock. And then you just like swill it all down quickly before it closes. You know.
Yeah.
It's just it's a weird one, eh? It's a weird.
Yeah. So but then it's but I guess what I've been doing with the bar now, it's like I had this idea, which is like I kind of want to do, you know, that it's just now the things change a little bit as well. The people are kind of more caring about. I mean, I think we need to create a bit of a concept of like looking after each other. Like, so I was thinking about doing I had this idea that we do those mats, like, you know, those mats that you have in pubs.
Like a bar mat?
No, the bar mat that says DB Drought. Or like Lion Red, you know?
Yeah.
But says, are you checking on your friend? You know, like, are you, do you need any, like, you know, like, do you need to speak to someone, like, you know, like about especially girls, like, you know? So.
Definitely. That's a great idea. I think do it.
Yeah.
It is a good idea.
But I was thinking about maybe teaming up with some kind of like brewery to do that.
Shout out, there you go. Breweries around, listening to us, get in touch. Yes. Yeah, man.
Sorry. Yeah, just
good.
Had his knees in there.
There you go, man.
It's the spring.
Yeah, I have real bad hay fever, like a fever.
Bobby, when Liu and I came to New Zealand 10 years ago, I don't know how, but you were already like a legend in New Zealand. You know, everybody knew. Everybody knew.
Oh, I made it. I had the looks, maybe.
Everybody knew you. Like, I don't even know how I knew you, but I already. Someone came to me, oh, Bob Brazuka. You know? And I remember that someone told me that. I remember that was how someone introduced you to me. Was like, oh man, he's very involved with the Maori. They made this street art of him, of his face in Ponsonby, and he's like real into the community, you know, like he's the guy, you know, like.
Oh, that's nice.
So how did you get there? How did you get to get involved with the Maori culture, to have this street art face in the Ponsonby? And
oh no, a friend of mine, the guy that did, it's actually, I was hanging out with him last night actually at the bar. He made a face in Ponsonby of a friend of mine that passed away a couple of years ago. My friend Jay Bulletproof. So he made my friend Otis Frizzell was the one that did my face in Ponsonby, and then he did the face of my friend Jay just across the road from Ponsonby Social Club actually. And that's, but I mean the Maori culture is because I pretty much I was hanging out, I was just being in the right place in the right time, I guess, you know, like. So like when I went to start working at Santos. Santos is the place to be, because Ponsonby is very Maori. You know, Ponsonby is very Polynesian Maori. So, well, people don't. There's not this kind of yappy neighborhood that is there's now. Used to be is the what I like going back, like what I tried to back about. It's like New Zealand was the first one of the New Zealand embraced the Polynesians really well, you know. Like New Zealand opened up really for the Samoans. That's why we're a bit big in rugby, you know, like because Australia wasn't like that, you know. Ponsonby was like a neighborhood of like all the Polynesians that from Samoa and Tonga. They all came over and they used to work in a port. So that's all the from there. But when I came to New Zealand, the neighborhood was more like was on flats, of student flats. But before there used to be houses of Polynesian people, families. And then that's why they had the Polynesian Panthers, which was like kind of the same movement of the Panthers in America. They tried to do they did in the area. And Ponsonby is a real Maori and Polynesian neighborhood. So then I think in the Santos was a place there was all different people. So it was like all actors, all musicians, DJs, they all hang out there. There was a place that was like we before the big day out, something like there'll be Anthony Kiedis who come through. You know what I mean? Then we meet him. But it's like all the TV people will be there, or but they all like kind of hanging out, catch up. And then from there will be the parties. There'll be
cool.
the film people. That's just about the curious films. They used to hang out there, and I was just the people and doing graffiti artists, everybody. So that's why I became. And I just want to be like them, and I hang out. Because I was a dishwasher when I first started there. Then I started learning how to make coffee. And then I was like, and it's a funny story because later on I started making music. And I was nominated for New Zealand Music Award. And with my band, Latinaotearoa. And then I was against Fat Freddy's Drop. And then I was like, it was 2013. No, 2013, yeah. And then I was like, well, if I win, 2012. If I win, I'm gonna say, I had a speech, but they won, of course. But I was like, I was the coffee boy. I was the coffee boy for them. I just want to be like them. That's why I made music thinking how like they, because there was, just to hang out with those guys and just going to the clubs and bars and it was like the culture, Maori cultures are strong in the area, and I guess it just,
Yeah, I feel I don't know. I can be wrong, but I feel that the Maori culture is way similar to the South America culture than actually
They've got cousins.
British,
we all got cousins.
Yeah,
There's only cousin.
You also appreciate the family more than actually the British. Like I don't know, but when I came here, the British families they just kick their kids out when they are 18, and then,
even earlier, even before sometimes.
And we have this thing of keeping families together,
Yeah, sometimes there's two things about it. Like what I think about Brazil sometimes is like sometimes the kids stay for too long there. You know what I mean? It's like, man, you're 35. Get
that
out.
happens in Auckland now. You watch out, your daughter will be like that.
Yeah, no,
why am I moving out?
Well, their rent prices, the house prices in Auckland. Like my daughter probably is gonna stay.
Yeah.
But here, I find it funny because here, even if you stay too long in your house, their parents charge you a bond.
Yes.
Like that was a thing when I was like, but then in Brazil, people like 25 years old still getting how's it called, a mesada?
Like a pocket money.
Yeah.
Money.
The guys it's like, oh, like.
It is true.
So that's I mean, sometimes it can be good. Sometimes I just found the independence, it's just you. Yeah, but the things that's a part that I think each family is different, but the thing of Brazil truly is that in New Zealand, in Maori culture and Polynesian culture is that we have a lot of cousins, families important, family food, family interaction, and festivities. Just you're really gonna catch up with everybody, and which is.
And it's also the definition of family. Like it's not just the mum and the dad and the kids. It's like, and it's also the people that you love and the people that always come with you, and it's like. It's a bigger thing. But
one thing that I find I just thought about it the other day. It is I love you. It's in here it's a bit more. I think it's more like in Portuguese, like for you to say "eu te amo," say "I love you." It's a bit harder. It's not like I hear you say "I love you." Okay, bye. I love you. It's like you don't say "ciao, te amo." It doesn't. It's kind of like to say "te amo." It's kind of like it's a big step.
It's a big deal.
Yeah, I think "I love you" in Portuguese would be like "moi eu te adoro," which is like I adore you.
Yeah.
But but that word "loving you" is a bit like to get. You know what I mean? For you just to. Yeah. I think it's a bit. I just thought of that the other day. I was just like, because I go to my daughter, I say, "I love you," and then man. Or people my mates just like, okay, but I see you, love you, and I'm like, do you? Okay, that's good. It's like, wow, I think you reached something, then I was like, whatever, I find that's a few things, there's a thing. I don't know if you know about the saudade, palavra, the word saudade. Saudade is like you miss someone, but here you miss someone, you can miss the bus,
same word.
But I don't miss your bus.
No.
Yeah. I don't miss catching the bus. It's like I missed the bus. I was like, eu perdi o ônibus. No, I missed the bus. But I didn't catch that bus, so I missed it.
Yeah.
But I miss you. You know, it's like, is it but the same word? It's like in Portuguese, there's only word, only the language. There's a specific word for I miss you. Like I really miss your presence. You know, that's saudade.
Yeah. That's a beautiful word.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Do you speak Portuguese with your daughter?
Quite bad.
You were bad with Portuguese, or
no? I'm bad to speak to her. But like, it's like my dad did speak Japanese to me, which is like he could have speak it, but he also is a little bit more like kind of. Yeah, it was the same like with me. My daughter is like I have this theory, another theory that I have. I was such a theory guy. I have a theory that's like when the dad, because I noticed a lot of my boys, they are Brazilian and they have a Kiwi wife. They don't speak Portuguese to the kid, and I noticed but if the parents are Brazilian, they speak Portuguese to the kid because they speak Portuguese at home, right?
To each other.
And then when the mom is Brazilian and the dad's Kiwi, she speaks Portuguese to the kid because their relation mom-kid, you know, like it's your mom, you know, like.
And she can give shits to the husband as well without him noticing. She can tell the kids, your fucking dad's not doing right.
Which a husband would never do, of course, the other way around.
I got this other one the other day, which is my daughter's like, Dad, you know, you're frustrating. And I was like, what did you say? They even know frustrating is? She's like, yeah, you. And I was like, what is your mom have been telling you? But yeah, I was like, I just thought of that because I was like, why? But the thing also, I've been here for so long that I also have this thing like, which is kind of the manners, or like, which is if it's the three of us, and then Lana walks in, I'll just flick it straight away to English.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Just stuff that your mind. Because I want to be part of the. So it's just usually it's the three of us hanging out, and I just suggest my wife to be part of the conversation. So it's like, and it's hard because my daughter she's really good at remembering, like, you know, like a lot of words in Japanese I can remember, like that what I learned or Aotearoa or something like that. You know, like the basic things I remember, but I can remember. She can also count to 10 and then also say please and thank you, you know, and water, you know, agua, and but yeah, just need to, you know, I take her to Portuguese classes in Brazil, in Auckland.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, but it's kind of like the age that's like kind of like singing along, you know, what's yellow, you know, what's pink, like, it's kind of like that level of,
yep,
you know.
You should just start talking to her, Bobby, because she'll pick it up.
Yeah,
they do.
Yeah,
kids do.
yeah.
And then it'll be in
I mean,
her.
when we went to Brazil, she's like, this year she started speaking a bit more.
Like, yeah.
How does she deal with your like event musician crazy? Like, is it something that she's 100%?
She comes along.
Cool.
Like, you know, she's like, I'm the kind of guy that, like, you know, like I think maybe the Garlands are like this as well. I think like I don't live my life for my kid has to live my life. Like I grew up like that. You know, she grows up like that. Like and you can't go. My wife does. She's a side manager. She has a music agency, you know. And I want to buy a DJ. Like, there's no way for us not to, you know. And then we just take her to, like, she comes to festivals. She comes, you know, we put her to bed, and we just still, you know, DJ out the bed, out in the lounge, and she's in the bed and sleeping. You know what I mean? Like she comes to my bar, goes to gigs. Sometimes she sits down. Because like a couple of hours, so like just DJing for like in the bar in Auckland, I was just put her sitting next to me, and she just plays on the iPad or something, and you know, like you come, I like, and she will become the pet of like all the waitresses. They're like, oh, look after her.
Exactly.
It makes more sense, eh? Just allow them to live the experience with you, right? So it's not a barrier. Were you the same, Lana? Was it easier for you, like, to just embrace whatever was happening with your children?
Yeah, because it's like it's life, right? And that's what happens everywhere else in the like Western world is just this, like, especially now parenting has become this big, like, and it's just like, it's not a big deal. We've been doing it for 200,000 years. You know, they can fit in. You've got to keep your own life. You've got to keep your cup full so you can overflow it to your children. You know, I think a lot of people make up these rules and they're like, not there. Like,
that's right.
Let's go have a drink. They're like, oh, I can't because you know there's a time that she goes to sleep.
Yeah.
And just after her, no, there's like she got the afternoon nap, and then I was like, hey, man, like,
yeah.
Like I done some stuff like, you know, like put my daughter's just deep in the car. I just, you know, I call my wife and I put it in between the head, you know, the thing on the seat.
Yeah.
She's here.
The headrest.
And I put the headrest, I put the phone there, and I made it like this kind of like camera.
Yeah.
But, you know, like we'll FaceTime.
Monitor.
We'll FaceTime, child monitor, but FaceTime, oh look, my FaceTime, my wife's phone was there, and I was there in the party, like, oh yeah, see, she's all right.
Still asleep. Yeah.
Then someone texts and we got, damn it, gotta go back in there. Gotta go back there, turn on again and call her back. And like, sorry. Yeah.
How old is she now? Sorry.
No, it's okay.
Your daughter?
6, yeah. She'll be 6 in the 4th of November. Yeah.
Sorry, you were
Oh, I can't remember now. I let things go really easily.
Well, how was the time with George FM, Bobby? You worked there for a while, right?
Yeah, I did 14 years. So by the time I was working at Santos, I was already kind of, because George FM was in Ponsonby as well, which is kind of across from Ponsonby Social Club.
Did you work when it was Tutakina Street? Because it used to be at Tutakina.
No. I was in the studio already.
Yeah.
And then I did Bass FM and George FM. But George FM was like, I used to have a show, was like Monday 10 to 12. Was like terrible. Like, you know, it's just Monday night, you just kind of just really want to be home, you know?
Yeah.
And, but it was cool. It was just, you know, I started playing Brazilian music and Latin music. Then I got moved to Sundays 8 to 10. Then I got moved to Sunday 6 to 8. And that's kind of was my spot for a while. And that was pretty cool. It was pretty educational.
They used to have the best Sundays. It was the highlight of my week, the George Sunday. It was just such a great lineup of great DJs and great
There was a time that was good. There was Kyan.
Yeah.
From 10 to 12. 12 to 2, I think, was Slave.
Slave, yeah.
2 to 4 was Selector Sam. And 4 to 6 was... 6 to 8 was... 4 to 6 was Hajj. And then 6 to 8 was me. And then 8 to 10 was this guy's Adam, which is... So it was really good. But I was getting quite commercial after it got sold to MediaWorks. And then it wasn't like my vibe anymore. And then so my daughters... I just kind of wanted to do... The problem with the show was kind of like the 6 to 8 problem is because it's summertime, there'll be somewhere like a barbecue. And then like, just as the food would start coming, I had to go. Yeah. And then it's like, no, don't worry about it. We leave something for you here. It's like, so and then it's like, and we turn it on, we tune in. It's like, cool, so go there and send shout outs. Like, yeah, and everybody in the barbecue is like, yeah, what is it to you? Good, come back to the barbecue. It's like, oh, God, there's that cold sausage there. The barbecue was all going. It was like, but then, yeah, then it was like sometimes I wake up on a Sunday like, oh fuck, what the radio. Like, was fun, but it's a
massive commitment, and also you can't leave the city.
And you couldn't get paid.
Yeah.
You didn't get paid. You didn't get paid on George. Like so, but it was good for me because a lot of the name that I had for DJ came from just like being there. So I got a bit of work from there. They used me, I used them.
Yeah. Do you think you made more contacts through the radio or like working with the cafes and meeting the
I think a bit of everything. Yeah. But the radio had cool things. There's a text machine, so people text you. And then you could, that was good because of feedback, because the Bass FM was another one that I worked at. It was quite little. It's quite little still. They got sold down at the moment. But it was hard because there was no, you just playing. It was good because it was good practice for DJing, like good things, but I was just really, it's kind of hard because there was no feedback about, like, because there's a text message, but then there's not that many people listening. George is like, was from like big range, And the cool story is like, there was one time that friends of mine, like, they were listening. I was just working, I was in a cafe, that friend of mine, she's like, oh, me and Dion listened to your show last night. And then he turned up, the husband turned up, and his husband was like, this big Samoan guy, he's like, hey bro, we listened to your show last night. And I was like, oh cool, yeah, she said, yo, made love listening to it. And I was like, oh my God, okay, that's a bit too much. Or like, there was a lady that's just always, this lady Trisha, always messaging me. And she was an old lady. And then she's always like, Bobby, can you play this? Bobby, like, she just really liked Brazilian music.
Yeah.
And then she used to record it, and then get the songs and play for her friends or like gymnastics in the pool. And
aerobics.
Aerobics, they call it. Hydro gymnastics in Portuguese, like hidroginástica.
Yeah.
But that's total translation of it. But what was it called?
Acro aerobics.
Acroaerobics, yeah, that's the one. She
Aqua,
yeah.
water.
That's the one. And then that was really cool. And then one day, like her son message.
Oh no.
And then he said my mom is in the hospital. And then she's like, and I was like, oh, and she's like, she's listening. Can you play? And I was, of course. And I played her. I don't know who she is now, but hope she's good. But she came to because I was part of this committee that did the Brazilian Day Festival, and she used to come. She came and then she sat down next to my mom. My mom was there visiting, and then she came next to my mom and she introduced herself. And I was like, he was Risha, like, so it's really cool because she was flying, living Fanga Paro or something like that.
Oh, cool.
And yeah, but I think there's just cool how you touch people when people be like, this reminds me of when I went to Rio, like, or like, it was just like, I never heard this music before, or like, this is so cool, I listen to your show all the time, like this. That was quite cool, like, how much you can educate. There was a part of the education part, which was really cool.
What about the bar? Some stories from the bar, like some people rocking up, and you were like, "Whoa, that person is here," or just some.
Taka Waititi, come a few days, come sometimes. Israel Asanya, he comes quite a bit. There's Kirsten Dunst and the actress.
Yeah.
That guy, but what's his name? He's like, it's kind of, he's Marvel, but. Forgot his name. He's one of the. Was it Mr. Strange? No.
Right. I don't know, man.
I don't know if you know those kind of Marvel. Yeah, it's one of those guys. Anyway, and then it's quite a few, but it's also like, they have food DJs there all the time. Like I have bands like they came through that. They're pretty. And I end up having Nicodemus, the people that Nicodemus Contact played at the bar.
So were those ones like the ones that you were like,
yeah, they were like, no, I look after them.
Man.
Yeah, and that became mates of them, Same like, Black Aid, and I made them and we became friends, They just like, yeah, it's pretty good.
Do you think there's a thing that like people think that artists are like this extraterrestrial people, like, untouchable, and then actually they're just human? Did you notice that from the beginning? Like, you just have to be.
I mean, the sad part's when you probably meet your idol thing that he's a fucking dick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's like, it's really cool when you're like, wow, like, it's just awesome. When they're just really nice people. I think New Zealand kind of humble you a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, he said, even if he was like a superstar, like somewhere, like, like. Kirsten Dunst, she was like, we were so drunk I had to take her out. Like, she was just like, her husband had to want to like, I'll order Uber. But they ordered their Uber and they're gone. Which is like, it was pretty, it's just, they're just normal people, I guess. Depends what they are, I guess.
Lots of international people like it here because of that. Like that we don't make this uber fuss, like everyone doesn't run up and want to take a photo, or I think maybe it's changing because I think the
internet.
And just I think maybe the culture of people is changing in the later generations where that's kind of, like it's okay. Or whereas before we'd be like, oh, I don't want to, it's just like, oh, cool, that's, like, I don't know. Can't think of anyone famous at the moment. But yeah, whereas, and I've, with having had some things to do with some really famous people that come here, they freaking love it because they can actually just go and do something. Whereas they can't do that. There's no paparazzi. Well, not where there is, but not really.
Like if one of them get like a camper van and come and hang out with young, I don't think they'll be pretty sweet. I mean, if you don't come like peak of summer,
Yeah, totally.
But that's another good story that because I DJ in I don't know if you know that, but I DJ in the Football World Cup in Brazil, 2014.
Oh, cool.
So I had 2 jobs. I had a DJ'd. A friend of mine got me to go the gigs at the sponsors village outside the stadiums. And then I also played, and then I also worked for TVNZ. So I was like kind of like a fixer. A fixer is like someone that drives the reporter around and that kind of help them out go moving around, 'cause especially in the language.
Make sure they don't get shot.
Yeah. Yes.
It was a real crazy time because
I'm not joking.
yeah, it was actually a real crazy time because it was the times that they had protests. Remember those protests in 2014, just before the World Cup in Brazil. So I was leave. I had a sabbatical 6 months. Then I went to live in Brazil, and then I was there, and then I was still working for Ponsonby Social Club doing the programming, but then I got the job of like doing the DJing. So I had the passport to go to the games, and that's why I got paid. But I was happy about that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had TVZ pay me to look after Jack Tame, which is a TV reporter, journalist from here. But he was that time he was living in New York. But they almost pulled the trigger on it because pull away because they pulled the trigger, pull away because someone was going to pull the trigger. Someone was going to pull the trigger on him. Now they pull the
You were
plug.
stopping them pulling the trigger.
Yeah. No, it wasn't me. It was actually a SAS kind of like dude from Australia. So they went over and they said, "Oh, look, this is not safe. We're not going to do it anymore." And then so I was like, "Oh, damn, I lost the work." You know, it was like quite a good money. But so I was only for like 5 days. They didn't have the rights, TVZ, so it was kind of Sky. They showed the games. So they 5 days before, 5 days later, the 5 days in the final, 5 days in the beginning of the World Cup. So I went to pick him up. I was gonna say, there was no program to pick him up, but so they look, we're actually coming back. We're gonna pull the plug. We're not gonna do it. Okay, that's what. And then I still got the DJ gig. I'm sweet. Then so now we come back again, but we're gonna have a security guy. And there was a company like an agency that they have
Is it me or it's Bobby's one?
Oh.
Sorry. Answer it, man. Just tell them you're live. You're live.
and then
Answer it.
and then we pull the plug, but then they come back and then they got a guy from like SAS, you know, is the kind of army. Is it kind of Australian services?
Special services.
Special services.
Yeah.
So the guy was like, they were looking after. So I had this massive blonde guy, this blue guy, blue eyes, like a skinny journalist, and myself. Which people don't think I'm Brazilian in Brazil. You know, and then I'm like, damn, we're gonna be easy targets. Like, you know, but then
Gonna be
Not going to stick out at all. Look totally normal.
yeah, the guys about the girls that go crazy, those dudes. Like, they just, you know. But and anyway, everything went fine. And then I ended up doing the other reporter next the end of the cup. But the part of the World Cup was really cool because but I played in the final, you know. So I had my pass and I went to the copper box, and there was this incredible all can eat, all can drink, and I was like all these world famous people, yeah. And I met LeBron James.
Wow.
But I was just walking. I was walking from the toilet towards back to watch the game, and then this massive guy, this is LeBron James. I need to take a photo. This is gonna be viral, you know. My friend, because I'm so short, he's so tall. It's gonna be like my friend's gonna love it. And then I was just waiting outside the toilet, you know, because he went to the toilet. He kicked everybody out of the toilet, and there was 4 security guys in front of the toilet, and then there was all the catering people, and me with the phone, like waiting for him to come out. And then none of them speak English, so only me. So I was like, he came out and said, LeBron, can I take a photo? He's like, then he touched my head like this, and he's like, no, little guy.
Did you say no?
Yeah. Like it's a basketball, you know. Yeah. And I was just like, I'm no little guy, I'm older than you. You know, because, you know, like the sports people, he's probably about 35 or something. You know, I'm 10 years, almost 10 years older than him, I guess. You know? I'm like, I'm older than you, bro. Like, fuck, you know, like, because the sports people can, you know, like, you know, Rich McCall, like, he's probably like only 39 or something like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they look old, they just seem to be older, you know? But yeah, then I was like, then Gisele Bundchen walked past.
Oh, wow.
And then I was like, what if she called me a little guy? You know, like, I can't.
Oh, you didn't ask.
No, and I didn't ask because he really messed up for my self-esteem.
Oh.
Yeah, but I had a great time. I ended up I didn't have the ticket, so like you walk in the corporate box, we could just stand up. There was a bridge. You couldn't see most of the field. They had to kind of watch part of the field. You had to kind of, when the ball goes that way, you kind of watch it on the screen. But then there was a German guy next door into this real good corporate box, and I was like, Deutschland, Deutschland, and then I just jumped to his side and then watched the whole game. And my friend that booked me, she was like, what the hell are you doing there?
It's a bit of you.
I'm here.
It was after the 7-1, right?
Yeah. And then this sad stuff he said happened in the game. It was actually such a great story. I got my DJ bag and I was walking down to because in Maracanã there's all these ramps that they go. So I was walking down those ramps to go down.
So the stadium.
The stadium. Maracanã is the famous Brazil stadium. It was the final one. And then in Rio.
Just asking for our non-Brazilian watchers and listeners.
And then there was a fight between Brazilians and Argentinians because it was Germany and Argentina in the final. And there was a fight between them. And then smart guy here decided to separate it. And then this guy.
Fuck you, LeBron. I'm tall and big ass.
I was like, no, guys, no. This Argentinian guy just came through and just gave me just headbutted me so I DJ with one eye like this. And all I was doing trying to separate. And I was like, damn it. Yeah.
Welcome to Brazil, Bobby?
Yeah. It was crazy.
What about co-events here in New Zealand? Like the ones that you went to and you were like, whoa, okay, this is the shit. Look at this. Look at where I am. I remember.
That didn't happen at Ponsonby Social Club.
Yeah.
It is the place to be, It is the best place to be.
Oh, I played once. I opened up somehow. I opened up for Groove Armada.
Oh, yeah.
At St. James Theatre, which is there's the only time, at least I played it to James stage, which is it doesn't exist anymore. I mean, it's there, but.
It's so sad. It's such a great theatre, such great space.
Yeah.
Groove Armada. Have you got to see a lot of gigs in this time, or you always working? Do you find the time to go and enjoy yourself?
I like going to gigs. Yeah, you need to go see gigs if you do gigs,
Definitely.
And it just but you also I just like it, it's especially seeing I seen Erica Badu, I seen this guy's Masters at Work. They're saying I sing I don't know.
Did you come to the Pohiri with Erica Badu?
No. Yeah,
that was one of the times you meet your hero, and she was amazing.
Yeah.
Were you there, Lana?
I was. Yeah.
I did a gig once Explore. I had she played Explore, and I was gonna play after. I made an alias, I made it a different name for the set because I had my DJ set myself as Bobby or Brazuka. Then I made it. This guy told the guy John, I kind of want to do a baile funk set. But when I call myself DJ Santo Amaro, because Santo Amaro is where I'm from in Brazil, and I was but I want to wear a proper tie and a shirt and put a Mexican lucha libre mask. I don't know why Anyway, the day that she played, it was right after her set, just started pissing down hard out, super full on, and then I went over to the stage that I was completely getting flooded. It was it was a proper belly, the roof was about. And he's like, what are you playing? I was like, turntables? They're like, no, man, you're not. So I just had to play when the mixer, my computer was. And then I took my shit. I was just, I remember meeting her, seeing her, but, I was just had to play. I forgot the mask, didn't even do my full set. It was just, it was a gig. It was weird. And I thought there was a vibe that, something about the gig that triggered, everything. She wasn't that happy. It was Explore. But yeah.
What's happening in Aotearoa's music recently that it's making you happy? What have you been enjoying?
I like the latest Avondale Bowling Club album. It's got Trees. I like the.
Are you gonna get them to come to Ponsonby Social Club? Are you gonna get them because they already play
it's the club members. Yeah, members are I think this guy Harrison, which is part of my Latinaotearoa. He's part of the Bowling Club, He's the keyboarder for both bands. So he plays at their live tribute, with the guys from Yokozuna. But there's 3 albums. There's the Troy Kingi album. There's the Avondale Bowling Club album, and then there's Mellow album that came out this week. Yeah.
Is it the one that he recorded a track with Bootsy Collins? I think so. The bass player from James Brown. I'm pretty sure.
Troy Kingi.
Mellow Downs.
I think so.
Pretty sure. Yeah.
I didn't hear the whole thing.
Yes.
I was in the plane. I started listening, but then I fell asleep. I was
You've been doing heaps, man. You've been everywhere.
Yeah.
Mellow also has a podcast as well that they drink kava.
Yeah,
Pretty cool,
really
man.
good.
I'm a big fan of him.
Yeah, I hang out with him. I saw him yesterday actually. He came to the bar yesterday to the gig.
Cool.
And then we went to Brisbane together because now this Aussie trip I did another one a month ago. That I went just to Brisbane for like 3 days. It was a thing called Big Sound. It was like a conference, and we're hanging out there. And then he was talking about the cover thing. And I gave some ideas for the podcast. I was like, but you should get like people like Paula Bennett, you know? Like, not get stuck in people that just get along, just you kind of like have the same ideas of, I guess, you know? It's like, she seems quite like, you know, nowadays that she's not a politician, I kind of like start getting, oh, she's okay, you know?
People are people, you know?
Yeah.
Everyone's
That's right.
a bit okay. Like, honestly, almost everyone. Do you like cover?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, it's okay, but like, not that I'm gonna have like, it's not like a cup of tea. You know,
Pardon?
it's not like a cup of tea that I'm like, yes, this is so yummy. You know, it's something I drink, you know, that I'm like, and then I'll drink it. If there's there, I'll drink one, you know.
But have you ever had a cover session? Like, because you've got to have it like a session.
I went to
where-
Mellow Down's baby shower, and then had the cover there. And that was the last time I had it. Yeah, and then I was like, okay, ain't enough down. So I just had that little.
Just one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, that's not cover. You got to have the session. You got to keep it going around, you know? Like,
Right.
I'm actually one of the random people in the world that freaking loves the taste of cover. People like, it tastes like dirt. I'm like, it tastes delicious.
It's more about the texture. It's a weird texture. It's like thicker than, you know, like.
Yeah, it's, I don't know.
That's weird cover you've had. No, it's not thicker than water. What sort of strange Brazilian cover have you been
He
drinking?
had Chloe, right? Chloe Schrobeck in his show as well.
Yeah,
Have you got to see her? Does she go out? Does she go?
She comes to the
Ponsonby?
bar. Yeah, she came to the bar.
cool.
She came to the bar for, I don't know what gig it was. But I took a photo of her. She knows about me. I was like, you know me. Yeah.
She's out there. She's doing the real job. When
Yeah,
you see,
she's busy.
young people.
Yeah.
In the politics like that. She's probably the best.
She smokes some of
representation.
them, like the older people. You know, the boomers.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, she
boomer,
said to that's what she said to Paula Bennett, wasn't it? Okay, boomer.
Okay, boomer.
You know, yeah.
Yes. Do you get involved? Do you get to follow a little bit of New Zealand politics, Bobby? Because
Yeah,
Brazil
well,
is just chaos, so we might as well follow.
Yeah, like
New Zealand politics.
I'm a Labour member, like since 2004, I think. I don't pay anymore, like, but I used to be like kind of like I gotta. Yeah, I like politics. I came from my parents are lawyers, so and then I grew up with a lot of like, you know, when they would sign like they have like 3 papers that came through them every day. My house is a mess of information, you know, like there's lots of books and lots of magazines and kind of like the listener, you know what I mean? They had a couple that's always reading, and I'm a socialist, you know, I'm a leftist, but like, you know, it is bits of it that I kind of like start getting a little bit, you know, upset about it. Like, I mean, there's bits of it that when they sell out a bit, you know, which is but yeah, I like just in there myself. Like we kind of family friends actually. So my wife is actually best friends of her husband, Clark Hayford. So we done. She's been to my house and then she's pretty normal. But yeah, but the label also sometimes it's just kind of they're not too different.
Well,
you know?
Exactly.
I feel like
Labour
it's-
National, they're kind of like
And at the end of the day, the people with the money are the one who are playing the cards, right? And like they are in charge. Like they are actually telling the politicians how to do things. That's how I see it. I'm like, like the bankers and the people with holding power are dictating a lot of what the government should do. So I feel like I'm like, oh, left, right. It kind of feels like they're very close. There's not like a big difference between them, and that frustrates me a little bit. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, they just, if you see New Zealand, it's different than Brazil because I mean, the power is going to be always in these two parties, and there's going to just keep changing, but a democracy is this, that's us. I was talking to someone last night, yesterday at the bar, she was saying, like, friend of mine is super, he's super, like, left guy, like, hard out, and it's like, he's Lula, and then, I do prefer Lula now than what we have, but like the thing is that democracy is that's what it is, like so there's when Donald Trump won, there's that time there's 60% of the poor white people of America voted for this guy because they were sick of what they had before, and then you gotta give the power to them for a bit, there's Bolsonaro's in power because Brazil voted for him, you just gotta accept it, it's like you don't like it. If you don't vote it, you can complain, So,
yeah, it's tricky. It's tricky because like there's so much misinformation going as well. Like you see like all those WhatsApp groups nowadays. That's what I talk to my family, and they say like, "Oh, this is crazy. Like people are getting their information through like WhatsApp and stuff." And then like you understand how.
You think it's better if they just get it through the mainstream media?
Well, I think so because
the fake news are crazy.
Because like who is making that?
But the thing is, like, there are about 3 people that own all of the media in the world, and like you can look at, I don't know if you've seen any of those montages of news organizations all around the world saying exactly the same story because Reuters has put it out like that. And the same people that own the media also own everything, literally, And so it's like, I don't know. I mean, I've been involved in a few media. It's never how, it's always so, I mean, and I just think over the last 2 years it's been proven no one's asking any questions in the mainstream media of how things have been going. It's just like they're just towing the party line, which is dangerous, Are you
still going to consider that politics move, Lana, at some stage?
No. The system's broken, babe. It's just going to happen on the ground. It's not going to happen in politics. People power.
Yeah. Politics again being like, especially like this last few, getting so hard out. There's like, I just kind of like decided to, it's like I can't like yesterday my friend was I was like, bro, like just can't talk about this shit. I was like, man, I want to have a good time. Like this is just, your mind just getting like, and then it's just, he's like extremely left, Then I was just like, bro, the problem is we go extreme. Like anything in extreme religion, extreme, like you forget like the center of like all the reason, But yeah, what about the football? Yeah.
Have you guys ever had problems with noise control? I'm gonna get some ice cream for us.
Yeah. Oh, can I please have another bit of that?
Yeah. Of course.
Yeah, we had like that's the neighbors. We just talking before about neighbors that people will go after your license. So a neighbor went and try to keep doing keep calling noise control on us. So we kind of would lose our license. Oh, not lose our license, but reduce our license to 1 a.m.
I think we came up with a good idea before. I think that people moving into the city or any centre should have to sign a waiver saying, I realise this is a centre and that there will be noise.
Yeah.
Otherwise, move to the suburbs.
Yeah.
Or the country.
Move to to be
yeah.
Like you can hear the ocean.
Penrose, Papamoa, whatever. But just don't live in the city and complain about it being a city.
Yeah.
you know.
Well, yeah, that's it's pretty sad. It's like man, come on. Yeah, but noise is noise, and it's not like bad. It's like lots of the noise actually not come from the music, comes from the people talking. Outside a bar, outside in the street. That's Is you the one? You the loud one?
Yeah.
Yeah, like like they. Yeah, I think so. I remember.
That was the night you were there.
Yeah. Nah, like, you know, especially.
Ice cream.
Are those plant-based ice cream?
Thanks.
Do you want some now?
Think-
There you go.
Oh, yeah,
I'm
okay.
not sure if you got the one with Taylor. There you go.
Oh, no, I can just have a little bit.
Now we got, we got heaps.
I got heaps.
Yeah, man.
Yum.
Plant-based ice cream.
Is this from Lots of Love too?
Yes.
Wow. She makes ice cream.
She makes ice
I'm
cream.
going to try it. I love chocolate ice cream.
Bobby, was it always a thing for you to be living Brazil and living overseas? Like,
No.
oh, it was just
No,
something that
that was
happened.
kind of destiny. No, I was just I stayed because I loved it here. You know, I just found that there was a place for me that I really, you know, then I kind of like just I didn't feel like leaving. You know, I just want to stay here.
Your soul, it was like home.
Yeah, it's like I say that Brazil is motherland and here is homeland. You know?
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. We
Man, ice cream is amazing.
it's nice, eh?
Yeah.
Shout out, Tanya. Thanks for the desserts. Do you miss Brazilian foods, bro?
Yeah, a bit. But I sell Brazilian food in my bar.
I was going to say that's why he makes it.
Yeah, well, now we don't sell like the big dishes. It's more like a snack, you know, bar snacks. You know, like coxinha and bolinho de queijo and pastel. And
Yep.
so you can have with beers and but then I do the feijoada once a month.
Do you know what feijoada is, Lana?
Feijoada is a Brazilian national dish which comes with like rice and beans.
Beans and rice, yeah.
But with like the
Black
pork.
beans?
Yeah,
But like
right,
it's pretty much
pork.
all the parts. Like
Yeah.
the traditional one, you would like the classic one, you would get like all
No,
the
really.
parts.
The ear, the pig, the ear, the
it's
Like
foot.
the head, the feet, yeah.
The traditional one is the parts that the white people wouldn't eat. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
like
The ear.
cheap cuts. Yeah.
Yeah, they'll throw it to the slaves. So the slaves will put into the beans, and they'll leave it in there, make a stew of it. You know, so be thicker and be more for protein.
Yeah.
Like in the middle. But
And so much goodness.
but Jamaica, so there's in Jamaica there's rice and beans, but the rice and beans are together. So in New Orleans, I think there's kind of some rice and beans as well, rice and peas or something. And then you go to like each country has a different recipe for rice and beans.
Which is amazing because it's like when one's a grain, one's a legume, right? And so when you combine the two, you get a complete protein. Because if you're just living on rice, it's not. And if you're just living on beans, it's not. But when you put them together, it creates a complete protein. It's like amazing. So,
Yeah.
but the rice and beans are together in the feijoada?
No,
No, separate.
they can't separate. But then
But you mix them.
I'm the kind of mix it up.
Yeah.
You know.
It's
Some
like,
people-
how do you eat your feijoada?
That's a big thing
Yeah.
in Brazil. Like if you put your beans below or above the rice. you
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
Oh,
They say
Yeah.
that is two different kind of people.
Like-
It's the ones above and below.
Yeah, that's true.
What do you think I am? Beans above or beans below?
Above,
Okay.
like us.
Are you a beans above or beans below?
I'm beans on top.
Okay. Above. Right. Got it.
Above.
We got a cool comment here, Bobby, from Fauzi from Auckland. Shout out to our friend Fauzi. He says, the bouncers at Ponsonby Social Club back in 2012-2013 knew our Brazilian crew from miles away. They would shake their heads at us from across the streets. Not going in tonight, boys.
Fauzi.
Fauzi, yeah. Fauzi Hassan.
Ah.
Beautiful visual artist, man. Yeah.
Cool.
But just funny how, you were talking about like the bouncers and the thing with like the 1 a.m. cutoff. Now you stop at 1 a.m. so only one way out.
Yeah, I started doing that actually a month ago, 3 weeks ago. It's like at 1 a.m. people go in and they come out. It's just only one way, and then 1 a.m. we shut the doors, I guess, and then you can only go out. You can't come back in, can go in, and that kind of it's just good. Became really good. Like I know they will probably be losing some money, but I just don't want that 1 o'clock to 3 a.m. crowd money. Like, and who is there is already there. You know, the people that coming after are just kind of bar hopping, you know, like it's not they come for the music, come for, you know. So,
Yeah, it's like they stumble across it or walking down a street like, we're else, you know. Not,
yeah. And it's not good, like, you know, nothing good happens after 1 a.m. I mean, you can make good friends, you can make love of your life, or maybe perhaps, but no, like
The music's done, like the live performances.
Yeah, the live performance finish around probably about 10:30 max. But then you kind of have the little, 3 hours there to play around. But then it's still, we just shut the gate. But then after inside, we can still we'll stay on to about 2 o'clock, 2:30.
Yeah. And you have that bar on the side. Is that also from
Antisocial? Yeah, it's my little back bar. Yeah, which is pretty cool because I'm doing this. I'm gonna be doing this vinyl shelf, which is gonna be like kind of in Japan. There's lots of those. It's called listening bars. So it's all vinyl, and the guy that works in behind the bar actually puts the vinyl on. So I'm gonna try to do that, but like a little one, like not. I already have one shelf there, but I'm gonna put another one, and the vinyl go around. It'll be cool.
But that would be the perfect Japanese style because those bars are tiny, right? I remember going to Japan and like some bars were just like a strip, like 3-4 seats. I'm like, whoa, okay. How do you survive?
It's like, how do you make money?
Exactly. It must be like the best sake and whiskey ever, like expensive because it was so tiny, so beautiful, so nice to be at those places. But you think, wow, there's a lot going on here. Like there's not much going on, but a lot going on at the same time. You know, like all those sequences of bars. I was like, wow, that's cool. Bobby, tell us what's coming up, man. What should we be expecting from Ponsonby Social Club for the next few months for summer? What are your projects?
This weekend at Ponsonby Social Club. When I'm back tomorrow. Then we have the Brazilian night on Wednesday nights outside. These girls called Soul Bossa Duo. They playing outside. And Koya, they're a DJ.
Is that Camila? Camila?
No, it's a girl called Amanda and Juliana.
Amanda. Yes, I was thinking
they really cool. They really busy. They've been playing everywhere. But and they always bring a crowd. Like, I always felt like, oh, girls, if you guys keep playing everywhere like this, you guys gonna be like, like people gonna get sick of it. But they're busy. They go they'll do a gig in the North Shore, a gig, in West Auckland, one gig there, and they're pretty busy. And then Thursday, I think, can't remember what I got Thursday, but Friday I got this guy called Hawkins, and then there's he plays bass, but he's got a cool band. It sold really well. The tickets selling really good. And then there's other guy called Fate, and then he's an African guy. This Sunday, what's Sunday?
Diversity.
Sunday is it's called Bali. I don't think it's called Bali the Bobby. It's like Bobby's Bowl for you to. And then there's Bali the Bob is like we play more like Bali funk and hip hop, but I'm not there because I'm going to Momaganui to play. I play on Saturday night in Astrolab. If anybody's listening, in Tauranga, Momaganui, and then on Sunday I play at again on Astrolab. I play vinyl.
Oh man.
Yeah, so I'm not there, so I'm gonna call Bali do PSC. The gang. So it's gonna be my friends, three friends of mine at the bar on Sunday because it's a long weekend.
And the World Cup's coming, so you're gonna show the games?
Show the games. Yeah, I'm trying to organize this properly now. Like trying to find some people because I need to. It's gonna be early in the morning.
Right.
It's 8 o'clock in the morning. Most of the games. It's cool. It's good. Cause 8 o'clock's not that bad. It's like last year was about 6 in the morning. It's like it's too dark.
But one is at 5 a. I think the second one is at 5
One is
a.
at 5.
One is at 5.
Yeah, I'm gonna feel sleepy already.
It's too early for the nightlife, people.
Yeah. No, but as you know, I'm gonna try to do. I'll talk to people to try to do the Brazilian breakfast, like Mr. Quente and pão com mortadela and pão de queijo.
Ooh, gonna bring all the treats.
Pão na chapa. Açaí.
So they do you know açaí, the superfood, it's a berry, like the purple berry,
Açaí. Now I know how to say it too.
Yes.
Yeah. Cool. They like, I was in Australia, people were like, can I have an acai?
Açaí. Sounds nicer.
Yeah, then I'm gonna do that because I don't have a license to midday, so But I want to do for the exercise of it, have a place to have it, you know. And I like football, and I like the World Cup, so like, you know.
No, it all works
Yeah.
together. Are you still having those comedy? Yeah.
The next one is the 27th. Yeah, I did some myself.
Yeah, I heard about that. I was talking to Corey. He came to perform here.
And
then we met.
he'll be the guy for come here.
Oh yeah, I think we're just waiting to time it right. Next time he's around. He loved it, and it was funny because I was telling him, he was like, "Oh man, I'm doing this podcast," and he was like, "Uh-huh." And then I showed him a video, and then he was like, "Oh, okay, you're doing the proper thing." Like every time that people says I'm doing a podcast, I imagine a guy in the garage with a tiny microphone and a webcam, you know. So he saw the video and he's like, "Oh, you guys are doing it seriously." I was like, yeah.
Seriously.
So yeah, now we've been in touch, and good man. Paul Douglas as well came here. Have you met Paul Douglas?
No.
Good guy. Yeah.
Comedian?
Yes, because there's a place in town, the Monkey Theatre, that they are bringing comedy nights as well.
Yeah.
I want to know more about Bobby's comedy.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that's
How
where I
did
was
it go?
going. How is the act? How is Bobby's?
I was like, also because Corey is my good friend, and we became good friends probably like in the last couple of years. And then I was inspired by like, because we started doing a comedy night, because my bar looks a lot like a comedy club now. It's perfect, you know. And then I just thought that I can do this. Cause like, but the story was happened is that like where was the lockdown, and then a lockdown, it was before I thought that I could do this. I was like, on lockdown, I keep waking up at 6:30 in the morning, and I keep going to the lounge, and I keep writing a joke every day. You know, people really dig it because they just thought I was like, wow, this, you know, I was like entertaining for everybody. It was at home kind of thing, you know. And then I was like, it was like 300 likes and shit. I was like, and I went to Jazz, and I said to my wife, I was like, hey, I want to do comedy. You know, she's like, no. I'm like, I'm funny. You know, she's like, well, you mumble a lot, you know, like you can't. And I'm like, you speak quite fast, you know. And I was like, yeah. And it's like, well, I can do it, you know. Corey mumbles a bit, you know, like if you hear him, like, you know. But so I started writing the things that I wrote. And my first one was called the Lockdown Diaries, you know. So that was like was things that I had on that I wrote that was funny, you know. And it was this kind of. Then the second one I did about my height, and the third one was I wasn't that good. I was like, it goes. No, I was like picked the next two. I was like, the third one I wasn't super keen on doing, but I did it anyway. And then it was cool, but it wasn't like that. Yeah, the first and second were really good. That kind of like put me away for a little bit from doing a little bit.
But apparently you have to blow, bro. Apparently you have to fail to be good at comedy. That's what the greatest say. You gotta do bad a few times.
Yeah. I'm just trying to get new material. So. Yeah, I realized that you gotta pick something. Like, I guess a lot of the things that I said in the first one was about like the people that knew me, like about being a Cana, like, you know, like, because I was like, lockdown things was like kind of like we're home, you know. And then I can't remember. I have it written here somewhere. But it's like it was about like, you know, Jehovah's Witness. I was like so lonely at home. And I was seeing my dad, seeing my friends, and then everybody knows that like a real people person, you know, like. Yeah. And then say like I was so bored if I could Jehovah's Witness knock in my door, and be like, please come in. Yeah. Tell me more about Jesus. Yeah. Like,
we're a good crowd. See.
Yeah. Like, you know, like, and I said about, you know, like I kind of really missed the bar. I just kind of like got a bottle of tequila and some beers that I went to the treehouse, you know. pull like Buzz Lightyear and Woody and just do my friends, you know, like, to eternity and beyond, you know, like, just drinking like boys.
Man.
Yeah.
So you probably you're just trying to take less things to your gigs, like instead of carrying all the 2.5K vinyls, you just carry the microphone for the stand-up comedy.
Oh yeah.
You don't even have to carry that; they give you a microphone.
That's right.
Yeah.
So just phone with.
Then it was like there was the second I did about my height, so it was like about like things that like it's kind of like That's
Did LeBron make it in?
Yeah, made it in.
Yeah,
that part wasn't it. That part wasn't it. And was this part? There's like a teddy ball. Like I'm the tallest. Like funny enough, I'm the tallest person in my household. Like my wife's shorter than me. My daughter's only until she turns 12. Maybe I'm gonna still be the tallest. 12. But I don't know. The other day, like this is a true story. Like I was like, I put a letter up, and then the toilet bowl needs to get changed, the bulb. And I put him like letter up, and then she was watching me. She's like, "Dad, what are you doing?" And I was like, like, and I just couldn't reach, And then she was like, she goes, looked at me and I said, "Oh, sorry, Daddy can't reach." Like, cause I put the letter away, put the light bulb away. I waited for someone else tall to come and help me out next time one of my tall friends come up. But she saw it, and then she's like, she looked at me, and then she's like, she looked at me, she like did this hand movement. She's like, "Dad, you adult, but you like kid size." Yeah. She realized that was short. I was like, "Oh, cute." Baby just realized that.
Great. Having the kids helping to write is a good move, bro.
Yeah. Well, it goes in, it goes on. I can't remember all the thing that I said, but they went really well. That one. The second one, I can remember what I did about.
Your heart wasn't.
I started like talking about. So good to have you guys back. Cause kind of like after the big lockdown, August to last year, and I was kind of like. Yeah, I kind of went too emotional at the beginning, which is kind of, then I realized you can't do that. You know what I mean? It's just, you can't get more, it needs to be just funny the whole, but bam, 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 Mine was a short, like it was really pretty much 3 minutes. So.
Learning curves, Bobby?
Yeah. Yeah, I'll try to go back there one day.
Let us know, man.
But Jennifer from my band was there. And I think also that kind of freaked me out a little bit.
Pressure.
Yeah.
The band members.
Brighter lights in the eyes, so you can't
lights.
see the people.
Yeah.
But let us know, man. Yeah. We
never know. I might come here to do in a monkey house.
Monkey house. That's what I was thinking. Next time they bring an act
I'll come with Corey. But yeah, I was thinking about maybe I'll try to do more the shop, because if I go somewhere and I try to say things that used to happen to me in lockdown, I don't think people fit young will understand it. But they will see them short, so they were like, "Ah, that's funny."
I've seen some of the comedians actually talking about that. They're like, "Ooh, I'm not too sure if this crowd's gonna relate to what I have to say." Like they see the challenge of different towns, different places in the country. I'm like, oh.
Well, you can't talk about hillbillies or like "Oh, the farm guy," like It's like
There's a lot of them in the crowds, man.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like
Comedy's comedy though. No good. I don't know about that because I watched a lot of good comedy is funny. It's funny even if you don't know exactly what they're talking about or they offend you a little bit like that. Ideally, comedians offend you a little bit or shock you or but they push it.
Would you give it a go, Lana? Stand up.
I have
you're an
thought
actress.
about it.
Oh.
Yeah.
You're an actress who could do it.
Yeah. Yeah, different brain, different skill set, fully different skill set. But I don't know. I told my son that, and he was like, "What? That's like a banana saying it wants to be an astronaut." You are so not funny. I'm like, I'm actually really funny. People think I'm really funny. He was like, "Oh,
No, you're not.
Not you."
The kids, hey, come on, kids, give us some support. So maybe I'll talk to Molly, and maybe we can try to put a night together. Lana, Bobby. I'll open the night.
And some professionals.
And some, We'll talk to Corey. We'll bring the pros.
Bring someone good too.
Bobby, thanks so much, man, for coming to having a chat with us. Yeah, man.
Yeah, really cool.
What a pleasure.
Yeah. Oh, and then I think you said about what's coming up. Black Alien coming up from Brazil. It's really the first Brazilian musician from Brazil, of course. That direct from Brazil. There's a lot of Brazilian musicians here. But some of the first artists coming from Brazil after the pandemic. So it was a bit of hard work to put it up, but we did it. And then he's coming next 29th of October.
Nice. We're big fans, man. Last time he came here, I wrote a letter to him. I was right at the front of the stage, and I was watching the whole show. And then at the end of the thing, because I play as well, so I don't like to, like the artist has their space. And then I called him. I said, "Man, sorry, don't want to stop. Just want to say that I wrote a letter for you." And his eyes, he was like, "Oh," because I think most people ask for a photo, whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I just want to give you this letter. And he looks very happy. So I hope to catch up with him again next time. Did you read the letter, bro?
Yeah. I think I
Cool.
can't remember, but I think I heard of something about letter. But yeah, he's a really good guy, and it's gonna be good for him to come over. Yeah, then also summer just about Latinaotearoa. We're playing. We're flying actually. Barrier. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to Great Barrier to play a Wingman Festival.
Oh, when's that? That sounds
And
cool.
like Auckland Anniversary Weekend, the 29th, 28th, 29th of January.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing. I'm doing myself. We're doing a Sunset Festival. Latinaotearoa. I'm playing Sunset Festival in Auckland on the 26th of November, I think. And then myself, I'm playing it. I'm doing all different festivals, Shipwrecked and Explore. Yeah, heaps of summer things. So summer will be busy.
Busy
Yay,
summer, eh?
summer's coming and it's going to be a proper summer.
Yeah. It'll be good. Yeah. So yeah, and the Ponsonby Social Club will be there doing stuff. So
Nice. We'll definitely come for a visit. Hey, Lana, for a boogie?
You know it. I'm a regular.
Sounds like us,
The
eh?
amount of time I go to Auckland, half the time is spent there.
Nice.
yeah.
Thanks, Bobby.
Cool. Thanks for coming. Thanks for coming to PC.
Yeah,
And thanks for having me here. That's good.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Lana.
You're
Oh,
welcome.
sorry, you
I was just going to say big ups for putting on the music, Bobby, and for keeping it flowing because it's been freaking tough over the last few years for everyone, and it's so important.
Yeah, the other thing,
Music
the
is
thing
so
about
important.
that is because like a lot of people didn't put it up, just kind of wait until things get back to normal. Like, cause I didn't wait, I kept doing
Yeah.
it. You know, even when you're going to have 50 people distance, like like we're just doing it. You know, then yes, still there.
Yay.
Cool.
Cool.
Awesome.
Go to Ponsonby Social Club, support the artists, eh? What a time to support the artists you love. Yes. Thanks, Taylor. Thanks for the audience watching us at home. We're live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7 p.m. Make sure to subscribe to our channel. And if you like the audio versions of our show, we are on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. Just go search ALTBAYS and you will find us. Peace.